move on now to our next speaker, Professor Lale TANER. Born in Izmir in Turkey and graduated from the American Collegiate Institute in 1984 from the dental faculty at Gazi University in 1989. She received a doctorate in orthodontics in 1994 and became professor in 2008. She works as a full-time professor at the Department of Orthodontics, dental faculty at Gazi University in Ankara, Turkey, and has been the head of the department from 2019 to 2021. She also serves as the dean at Cyprus International University, dental faculty in North Cyprus. She gives lessons on body language to Gazi University students and body language and patient communication in dentistry to dental students, besides the undergraduate and postgraduate courses. She's been working as a member of many communities at the dental faculty of Gazi University, the executive board, the social activities committee, which she heads, and the faculty fund committee. She has many publications and presentations. She's given lectures to dental students and assistants of orthodontics at the dental faculty, Aristotle University in Greece in 2007. She speaks advanced English and French. She gives conferences on holistic life and awareness, stress management, and success to schools, faculties, and institutions. She's working on holistic therapies for groups and personally concerning complementary medicine. Professor Dr. Lale TANER has invented Natural Hermetic Healing System, NHHS, which is a system of healing and awareness, and applies this in sessions as well as training courses. Today, she will be sharing her insights on a topic of profound significance called integrity of the family. So please welcome the professor.
Well, thank you. Hello, everyone. Greetings to you all. Let me share first, please. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me say a few words about this wonderful Ehud Institute. I am a member of this institute since many years. I am also a member of the scientific committee in this institute and the head of the adult education committee. And we are working together in harmony with the children education committee, and we are trying to produce projects for dissemination to public. And it's a privilege for me to be a member of this society. Now I will be talking about the integrity of the family. Each family is a separate entity and small social system with its unique structure and function, where some emotional bonds are established, social situations, roles, and tasks are undertaken, feelings of love and belonging are shared, and the family moves through stages in the life cycle. It is specified here as two spheres interacting: the family sphere itself and the sphere of the life cycle. Family nourishes the members of the society. Family culture is the acquired knowledge that members use to interpret their experiences and propagate behaviors that affect all. Perception of the family and its functions can vary based on many different factors and could affect the attitudes and behaviors of family members. For this reason, nowadays, the concept of family health is as important as the individual's health. I would like to introduce you, with honor, a really valuable group dealing with integral education and dissemination in public. Integral Education Center, Turkey, the Life Sphere Group. Now, let's hear them speak about problems in families. Let me open the video. Please let me know if you cannot hear the voice. Merhaba, hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Bugünkü konumuz ailede sorunlar. Çalıştayımızı isim sırasına göre yapacağız. Ailede sorun dediğim zaman ilk benim aklıma anne, baba ve çocuk arasındaki kaos, deneyimlere, tecrübelere, duygulara dayanan çatışma ve iletişimsizlik geliyor.
İletişimsizliğin yanı sıra yanlış iletişim ve herkesin kendi fikirlerini aile bireylerine dayatmak istemesi.
Ve önüne çıkan herhangi bir problemin aslında bir avantaj olduğunu unutma durumu. Aslında önümüze çıkan problemlerin avantaj olduğunu unutmasak her şey daha güzel olur. Bunu unutuyoruz.
Demokratik bir aile değil de ataerkil bir aile içerisinde yaşadığımızdan dolayı sadece babanın söz hakkı var. Kadın ve çocuk kendisini ifadelendirmiyor. Kadın şiddeti de çok fazla.
Çünkü herkesin kendi doğruları var ve herkes kendi doğrularına göre yaşamayı dikte ediyor.
Egolarımız çok yükseldiği için benim dediğim olsun diye dayatıyoruz. Bütün çatışmalar bu yüzden çıkıyor.
Bu çatışmalarda en son aklımıza gelen birbirimizi sevdiğimiz gerçeği ve bunu söylemekten en çok imtina ettiğimiz şey haline geliyor.
Bağ kurmak bir ihtiyaç haline gelmesi gerekiyor. Ve bütün yapmamız gereken de ailede bunu ortaya çıkarmak. Bu sorunun bağ kurma sorunu olduğunu ortaya çıkarmak. Çünkü bağ kurduğumuz zaman sevgi ortaya.
Çok teşekkürler. Now, this is the summary of the issues declared by the Life Sphere Group. These will help us clearly identify various distinct problems in families. So let's go over. Conflicts based on experiences, emotions, and lack of communication. Miscommunication and the tendency to impose opinions on other family members. Forgetting that any problem can act as an advantage. Patriarchal family rather than a democratic one, and violence against women. Everyone dictates how to live according to their own beliefs. Our egos have risen so high that we impose what we declare. The fact that we love each other becomes the last thing we remember and we avoid to express. And connection problems. Families exist for a purpose, to establish and maintain an environment that enhances the development of members. Family performs functions such as love, security, identification, belonging, preparation, or assistance for adult roles in society. And each family member has their own specific duties to carry out. How one perceives and connects depends on communication and skills, as mentioned in the before presentations today. Now, this is a very important issue and fact. How one perceives and connects depends on communication and skills. And under stress, this is often very difficult. Then communication and stance are used as a way to survive against a threat. Therefore, we have to take this condition into consideration. It has been shown that relationships and communication lead to what you live in your life. This is the iceberg metaphor introduced by Virginia Satir. A personal iceberg metaphor is a picture of how one experiences roles and circumstances. Through the analysis at the iceberg level, one by one, specific methods of what to do are obtained. Behavior, acceptance or resistance. Coping, placating, blaming, super reasonable, and irrelevant. Emotions, feelings, and feelings about feelings. Fondness, anger, and fear. Perceptions, gaining love or losing love. Expectations, should not upset others or parents. Yearnings, seek for respect and love. Self-I am is the deepest level. Firstborn children show two senses of themselves, a member among the families or an individual of their own. Here is an important issue to draw attention to. As mentioned in a research by Zhang and colleagues, once the firstborns themselves consider themselves as member, they are more likely to consider others more, while those who consider themselves as individual pay more attention to self-position. Considering sibling relationships in the context of the two-child policy, based on Satir's iceberg theory, sibling support is very important in second-born families. When conflicts occur between children, parents should not rush forward to be the referee. To resolve sibling conflicts, children need to learn how to treat this matter fairly. The deepest human desires, namely being loved, being accepted, and being recognized, are interlinked. At the desire level, the desire is to be respected by others, to be loved by others. Bowen's family systems approach is widely used nowadays, and of which strong aspects have been proved. This approach helps us explain the attachment patterns we have learned in our family. It shows the habits we carry with us after we leave our family. It easily describes the emotional climate of the family. It is aimed at understanding internal development and family behavior patterns. It has flexibility and allows the family to understand itself. According to the Satir's therapy model, family therapy model, harmony of the parents' marriage in a family plays a crucial role in the whole family. Children who grow up in a harmonious marriage generally have a more stable emotional state and higher self-esteem. It also affects their physical and mental development, and this has been proved by research. Positively oriented change is possible for both individuals and interpersonal systems. Change is possible using different aspects. How can we change our aspects? we need to consider empathy and spirituality. Empathy allows us to transcend individual perspectives, creating bonds of trust and mutual understanding, as also mentioned today. Empathy is not limited to individuals, but extends to communities, cultures, and even the natural world, as we learn to respect and value diverse experiences. Spirituality is a sense of connection to something greater than oneself, whether it be nature, humanity, or the cosmos, and often involves seeking purpose and meaning in life. Empathy and spirituality often intersect and involve stepping outside of oneself to engage with the broader aspect of existence. While empathy fuels action, spirituality often provides the framework for why we act. The ego of the human being prioritizes the fulfillment of one's own desires over everyone else's. In the case of an integral family, it is necessary to ensure that children interact properly with each other, their parents, and others, thereby participating in the creation of a well-connected society and nature. Family parenting was first put forward by American psychologist Baumright in 1967. Simmons, the American psychologist who first studied the effects of parenting style on child socialization, found that children that were accepted by parents generally showed behaviors needed by society. Now, this is a very, very important aspect to consider. In the case of an integral family, it is necessary to ensure that children interact properly with each other. And now, parents should contribute to their children to participate in the creation of a well-connected society and nature. Now, let's hear the advices of the Integral Education Center Turkey LifeSphere Group. Now, this is the advices now and the solutions to our problems in families. Hoş geldiniz. Ailede sorunları konuştuk. Ailede sorunlara çözümlerimiz nelerdir? Şimdi bunu konuşacağız. Benim çözüm önerim hoşgörü. Hoşgörülü yaklaşmak.
Her bir aile bireyinin diğer aile bireylerinin yücelmesine yönelik eylem yapması.
Karamsarlığa düşmeden muhakkak ışığın olduğuna dair umudu sürekli tutmak.
Tüm aile bireylerinin birbirini desteklediği ve güçlü bağlar kurduğu aile.
Ailede herkesin biricik ve yerine konulmaz bir parça olduğunu kabul etmek.
Egolarımızı törpüleyip karşımızdaki kişiyi anlamak.
Kalpten sevgi için birbirimizi cesaretlendirmek.
Herkesin bağı talep etmesi birbirinden.
Çok teşekkürler. Now here is a summary of their suggestions as solutions. Approaching with tolerance in relations. Each family member should take action to elevate other family members. Without falling into pessimism, always hold on to the hope that there is light. A family where all members support each other and build strong connections. Accepting that everyone in the family is unique and irreplaceable. Toning our egos down and understanding the person we are in contact with. Encouraging one another for heartfelt love. Each person should demand a connection with the other. The focused solution is, when we establish connections, love will naturally emerge. Parents need to be educated in the integral aspect since they educate their children, meaning they grow them up. Our main purpose is and should be to perceive that integral education in families will lead to happy, self-confident, successful, and secure people, guiding them to build a positively interconnected, supportive, and peaceful society. Love is in everything, but is invisible. Mevlana. Thank you all for being with me.
Thank you. That was amazing. And let's see if we have any questions. So whoever has questions can raise their hand. You can also write your questions into the chat for Professor TANER. Okay, so a question that came in from Miriam. How can we manage to change our relations and communications?
Thank you. Well, if we don't try to manage, life will teach us how to manage. We have to be aware of the nature laws that are already present for us, meaning the creation. And we are living in the world that has already been created for us. We just have to be aware. And we just have to act within the flow of this system. The main concept in managing our relations and communication is the will, the intention that we will have. As human beings, as I already have mentioned, we have our ego. The human ego has the concept of the will to get, to receive, and to have desire all the time. On the contrary, communication and good, stable relations depend on bestowal, the opposite, just the contrary side. So we have to be in the right environment. We have to be dealing with spirituality, and the best way is to be within the understanding of empathy, mutual relationships, mutual interconnection, getting mutual responsibilities, and of course trying the best and trying to be in the correct environment, as I said, and trying to work and do our best to correct ourselves, to change ourselves, because it starts from there, changing myself rather than changing the others. If I change myself and try my best, there will be changes in the society.
Thank you. Another question. What are the possible methods for guiding our children to a connected society?
This starts with education and awareness. We have to teach parents. We have to teach, starting maybe from teenagers. That will be the future parents. We have to deal with the concepts of integral education that have been really nicely and completely mentioned today in many presentations. So integral education comes here in the first line, I think. So a well-connected society means that everybody is aware of the mutual relationships and responsibilities. So the children that these parents who have already been educated in the integral way will rise up and give the chance, will rise up their children in the correct way and give the chance to the well organized and respectful society. And of course, we always have to remember that we are living in a system, and we are in such a system that we have to be aware of the nature laws, which are already present there for us. I hope I could answer. If there are any others, I'm happy to answer.
That was great. We have time for one more question, though there are many others, but we can do just one more. So in today's fast-changing world, where many families face stress, disconnection, broken relationships, what are some concrete, everyday practices that parents can adopt to build emotional bonds, foster empathy, spirituality, a sense of responsibility in their children so that they grow up confident, connected, contributing to a healthier society?
Well, I think the first thing a parent, either a mother or a father, should do when he or she wakes up in the morning is to start thinking, not what do I need for myself, but what does my child need? What can I do to help or give light to my children? What can I learn to open the ways or open the aspects or give maybe different ways of thinking to my children? It is like, we as mothers, we always think in the morning, the first thing we think is, what am I going to cook today for my children? This is usually what mothers start the day with. But similar to this, it is not the food. Yes, it is necessary for the human being, for the life, physical life, but there is also a need. That's also a fact to fill up the spiritual and the emotional life of the child. So the first thing we should think in the morning is, what can I do to create more bonds and more connection to my family? Because parents also need to be good examples to their children. And they have to respect each other. Of course, in order to create more connection, we have to deal more with our children, meaning have more time with our family. Rather than spending our time in social media, we have to spend our time in natural ways, like reading books, playing games, doing puzzles together, or whatever, or telling our difficulties in relationships that we just had that day, telling our problems, trying to find solutions together, being open-hearted to each other, but sharing everything by spending our time in a good manner with our families, rather than trying to spend our time with others, messaging like most people do nowadays. They are not aware of the now in what's happening at that moment, but they are, and who is around them, meaning the family in today's concept or topic. They are trying to deal with others on the phone, but that's not them who is going to help or guide them. It's their family who is going to guide them. So parents, children, you know, we all have to be together. We have to share things together. We have to act together. And we have to feel and get the responsibilities together. I think that's the most important thing, and we lack also.
Okay, you touched on it, but I want to kind of just summarize what is sort of a common thread between a bunch of questions that we're having come in, which is basically, how do I change myself? Like, what is, like, let's say that I don't easily open my heart. I'm addicted to my phone. You know, I have a variety of behaviors that I would like to change, but it's not so easy to change them. I know it's a difficult question, but maybe you could just touch on that. How do I change? How do I kind of do what you're talking about?
Well, life urges us to do that a little bit, I think, because people, you know, human beings, when they receive difficulties, when they have problems on and on, going on and over and cannot resolve anything, cannot solve anything, then they start to think, why am I living these? Why do I have such problems? Okay, I want to manage, I want to get out of this, but I cannot. How am I going to? And at that time, we have to have friends just around us, or our family, our parents, whatever, that can guide us, help us. We need the security, the feeling of security that will be given to us by close friends or family, but the security of that we are safe, and we have to be aware of the life that we are living. Why we are having problems, why we cannot change, why we have resistance to change is due to our egos. So our egos want to receive to ourselves. We tried this, okay? We tried and had problems and problems day by day, could never cure up. We thought we cured up one day, but the other day, the same things came over again against us. So let's try the opposite. Human beings have problems when they think about themselves, when they consider themselves. The only practical way is to think about others, to try to think, do something for others will help the human being to get out of oneself, because he will not have the chance to think about himself. So maybe engaging into groups that work for the society, or trying to help someone, an animal or nature, without thinking about the intention of doing it for myself, but the intention of doing it to help that child, human being, nature, animal, and that will lead to the benefit of the world, of the society, when we do this one by one. So we have to be in the correct environment. We have to be guided, of course. And also we have to deal a little bit with spirituality, meaning the physical things, the daily things that we live every day will not lead us to the correct way. We have to change our roles in the society, meaning we did deal, since, let's say, up to today, we tried to get the best, we bought everything, we wanted to get things for ourselves, but what happened? We still have problems. So let's try to deal with the spirituality a little bit, because this is the part of the human being. We are not only physical beings, but we also have the spiritual part in us, whether you call it the soul or whatever, but we have to fill that part. And it is always a gap. If we don't, then we will have more physical problems. So we have to a little bit change our aspects.
Great. Thank you, Professor TANER. I feel like you took us from one end of the universe to the other and right down into our everyday lives. Thank you so much. That was amazing.